Howdy guys, it's Kylie back to you with a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to do a magic video, how to make a nice budget commander deck. Sadly though, the budget is kind of a little ambiguous in today's day with how things are kind of going, right? So I'm going to say around $100, maybe $80 is kind of where I built this Spider-Man deck. I'm going to be telling you my thought process on how to make it, what kind of went into it, and the testing play that I did to kind of see like what was wrong with the deck even. So let's get right into that video. Now first off, I do want to say that there are some prerequisites, like maybe you've played Magic in pre-release events or anything that you've like made a deck with restrictions or limited access to things, especially facing with people that kind of know what they're doing. It's really cool and interesting to see what they can kind of cook up with, and especially just having bulk around. Like a lot of these cards I have here are cards I already own. Honestly too, like don't rely on EDH rec too much. A lot of the cards I do have, I did see on EDH rec, and I did put it on here, but EDH rec, especially with commander cards that just aren't very popular, it'll funnel a lot more of the same cards over and over again. That's not really what you want. You want to have something that's kind of unique to you, has your own spice, and an own little kick to yourself. So let's go right into it. First off, with Spider-Man, let's just see what the commander does. When I was a kid, honestly, like the reason I really made this deck was because one of the people in my Christmas at Christmas, somebody got me this Spider-Man box. And, you know, Spider-Man's was not a good set, let's be real here. But, you know, I couldn't be more thankful. And honestly, like, just hearing my mom talk about me as a child wearing a Spider-Man suit all the time is kind of hilarious to me. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan anymore, but you know what? I really wanted to get back to my roots. So I made a Spider-Man deck. Budget, it's around $80 like I just said in the past. How does this work, though? So we're going to be doing a lot of web slinging. Like, can we, yeah, can we get this? All right, so... you know, each legendary spell you cost, it's one or more colors, has web slinging, and that's really strong. So of course we have the obvious mana dorks like Elvish Mystic, and I even have like, there's a lot of them that are just like random, right? Like I did a little draft thing with Neon Dynasty, right? So like this guy isn't that good, but he's a mana dork, right? It's like you don't need the best mana dorks ever. Like Radacious Audience, if you got any of the Atlanta stuff, and it also goes in with it too. 2 for a 4-drop. Guess what? Spider-Man is 4 power, so you'll be making 2 green when you tap that. I also really like. I will say the one problem I thought I was going to have with this deck, it was going to be too much like my Hashaton deck that I made a little bit while ago, because it's kind of the same thing where you're cheating out big creatures, but in this term, it's only legendary, and it's actually legendary spells, not creatures. Anyways, though, I kind of got some inspiration from that, and I went with Kitsa. It's a little bit of an expensive draw a card, looter, discard a card, so just a heads up, I do have a couple of them, or kind of likewise, like I have Thought Courier, which is just, again, draw a card and discard a card. I really like being able to funnel through my deck. So we have a couple of those, even like another mana dork, right? Like you don't need the 1-drop really good mana dorks, right? This one also goes with Spider-Man because it also gives, since it's a human, heal into the +1/+1. So like, there's like a lot of low-key slappers that aren't actually on EDH rec. Let's go over to it right now just to kind of show you, hey, like, these are the kind of cards that a lot of people run. Of course, Absolute Virtue, by the way, on the thing that I have for it on the website, I used Tapped Out for it. It says $12.50 for some reason, but this guy's actually like $2. So when it says like $100 and I show you the Tapped Out version, which I'll have linked in the description below, it actually is cheaper than it actually says. Like, these are really good cards to have. Spider Sense, I have that card. Also, for Spider Sense, by the way, they don't have that on EDH rec. So I actually, in turn, put Counterspell in there for some reason. Like, all of these cards were really good adds, and I was probably going to add these anyway, so I added them. There's Serena, I didn't, because I don't really want any search options, but this is a great card if you're trying to get really, really competitive and, like, a really good deck. I mean, this is only 99 cents. This is a fantastic add if you're really just trying to be a little bit of a sweatier match, but I don't really want to have searches. I feel like most of my decks have searches, and I kind of want to stop that. Anyways, though, like, again, you're gonna have the basic ones, but, like, as you can see, there's no looters in here, right? Like, there's no looters. Also, I pulled Anti-Venom, which is why I'm saying, like, bulk. I hope you had some bulk at least once or twice, you know, that you just have a bit to work with here. So that way you can kind of use cards that are more in the spice territory for yourself, right? I didn't put Avacyn in here. Again, we're going budget, so we can't do anything too expensive, but we have removal like the Tereska. We got Helga in here, too. So anyways, I think we have, let's see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not going to really include Inga and Isuka, so 13 cards. But this is a really good powerhouse in the deck just to be able to keep drawing cards, right? So you have a lot of, I mean, 13, you're probably realistically going to pull one of those at least within your hand. And let's check out the legendaries that we have in this deck. And trust me, we have a lot of them. We got Vorinclex, just a really good, I think this goes for like $5 in the Phyrexian version. Terraske, good control card, battles, you know, can attack a creature a controller defends. Dude, I am butchering stuff. Anyways, good removal though all around. Listen, I love the Unagi, and it's such a good card. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw 2 cards. Listen, when you're in Commander, a lot of people draw 2 cards in a turn. Unagi is really good. I suggest you actually probably pick one up. Pick a couple of them up. I've been buying them every time I see. I love the Unagi. Just a heads up. Then we got a card like this. We just have so much card draw, but you have to have a good setup in the game to at least have it running in the first place, right? So we have a lot of cards that really help you draw cards. Even like this one's super good, especially I'll show you. We got Peter Parker's camera in here too, just for the flavor effect of it, but can actually double the counters on here and in turn draw you double the cards, right? So really good stuff. We have a lot of protection, right? The problem with this deck, like, I don't have Soul Ring. There's no Arcane Signet. I took that out completely. I know, kind of goofy. Never done that really before. But we have so many of these mana dorks that we really don't need any more, like, Arcane Signets and all this other stuff. And, like, Soul Ring with Spider-Man, it kind of, like, doesn't really help out. You need a color for each of the casting, and having a Soul Ring, like, let me tell you, if you have a Soul Ring, you don't have to put it out the deck, right? It's a good add-in because if they kill your Amazing Spider-Man or Peter Parker, whatever they do to it, it'll help you get Spider-Man back on the field. So it's not an unnecessary remove. Like, if you like Soul Ring, you want in the deck, go put it in there. There's no risk to not putting it in there, because it is just, Soul Ring's a really, really good card. But I just feel like it's not really needed in Amazing Spider-Man. And I feel like I'm just running out of room to really pull cards out that I want. So I did pull out Soul Ring and Arcane Signet. Anyway, since we have so many of these legendary creatures and these mana dorks in the deck, I also have just a lot of good cards, like for protection purposes. Slip out the back really good. It can even phase out an opponent's monster if you really want to get through. We have, like, personally, I mean, I just have Clever Concealment, so we're going to be running Clever Concealment for this one. But, like, again, that's like a $10 card, and you don't need that card, right? For example, like, Restoration Magic is like a 10-cent card that is just super, super good. If it just, I'm guessing, I'll put the cards with the screen so, like, none of the glare back can see it. But you just have a lot of protection. Again, we pulled a Spidey Sense, we got that in there. I just put a Dovin's Veto in there. It's not on the list, but if you want more counterspells, go for more counterspells. It really depends. The cool thing about the Spider-Man deck is that there are so many, like, little things that you can kind of do to it, right? Like, that you can add your own flavor. And I don't know, I keep saying that over and over again, but Spider-Man's just so interesting that you really can do that. I even found this Decisive Denial. Let's see, can I go? Whatever. I'll put the card on the screen anyways. But target creature control fights target creature you don't control, or you can counter target non-creature spell unless it's control, pays 3. For a 2-drop, absolutely bussin'. You can use it for either way. Good removal, good counter spell if you really need to do it. And we are having so much mana in this deck, it is absurd. I guess I should have said, when you're trying to make a deck, you really also want to imagine, well, what are you facing? You're facing, like, the same playgroup over again. What is their kind of power level that you're going for? For an overall basic, I didn't really want to put any game changers in, and I want to be able to play this in, like, a bracket 2 scenario, but to be honest, it can easily go bracket 3, and if I really wanted to make it a more disgusting deck, easily bracket 4. I mean, maybe not easily, but it can definitely compete with bracket 4. I haven't put any of the Elish Norns in, the one that gives your creatures +2/+2 and the other creatures -2/-2. That's only a $10 card, by the way. Like, it's, I mean, only 10 for one card. Hold up. It's disgusting, though, right? Jin-Kitaxis is also, like, a $5 card that will just dominate the field. Like, if you get a Jin-Kitaxis on turn 4, what are anybody supposed to really do if they don't have the right removal pieces for it, right? So, just a heads up, Spider-Man can get nasty really fast depending on what you put in the deck. Again, though, we also have cards that will, like, Anti-Venom, and I do really like the ad of having a little bit of graveyard love and recursion. So we also have Auroral Procession. There's one in Avatar, I think it's like called something Ancestry, which you can get a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, which works really well too. The most bank breakage of this deck is just getting like the really good legendaries. I think, let's see here, Nezahal, the Primal Tide is worth it, right? Being able to have something that you can just keep drawing cards is really nice, but it's not needed, right? Like there's not, like, a lot of these cards aren't, like I put Kodama, really good card, only a $2 card. I've got something that I just pulled, right? Like Commander Legends, like a lot of people buy that kind of pack. Absolute Virtue, I didn't think it was going to slap as hard as it does, but it do slap really, really hard. And of course, we got really good control with like this guy. I think this guy's like 10 cents or something, right? Brenolin, whatever. Whenever he enters the battlefield or whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost 6 or greater, you may return target non-land permit to its owner's hands. And let me tell you, you can keep funneling these legends over and over again. So we just have like really good control once we get the board set up. And that's why I have so many protection spells in this deck. It's really important to keep the board that you have in a stable position. If I can find my protection spells. Again, like, yeah, the Dovin's Veto, Restoration Magic. I only really have this Lightning Greaves in here just because it has Miles Morales on here as Spider-Man. Oh, look at this. Magic Damper. Dude, this is such a good card. Target creature controls gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof. You untap it. You can use it after something goes down. Maybe make someone be able to block some creature. Dude, it's so good. Like, there's like these really like low-key cards. Like, you don't have to drop all that much money against something. Makes it a 1/1 but gains hexproof, you know? So like just some like low-key banners are in this just to protect your field, because you really need that protection to really ramp it up. Now we have 3 pretty much necessary cards that you're going to want to get no matter what. My bad. So we got Relic of Legends. This is like the #1 card. If anything, you're going to have to get this card right here. Add 1 mana of any color, tap an untapped legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. This is just disgusting. You don't need your creatures to have haste. You can just tap the legendary, so you can cycle really, really hard, especially with something like the Sixth Doctor, right? Being able to copy spells and you being able to like create pretty much another mana out of thin air, bringing the cards back to being able to tap your legendaries to bring them back to your hand, to recast them and re-get the abilities off them is absolutely disgusting and nuts at times. Also, another protection spell, we got the Wandering Rescuer, Flash Convoke. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is, but again, another complete banner. Can pretty much keep your guys safe too by just tapping them when somebody tries to like do multiple targets at once or something. But Relic of Legends really helps you combo out. And if you don't get Relic of Legends, Supportive Parents, wow, what an iconic slap-in card. Like, it just seems so basic and weird and boring, but it really can help you elevate and combo out. Again, something that doesn't make or have to have your creatures have haste to be able to utilize, right? So again, these 2 complete banners. Springleaf Drum, another one that's pretty much necessary. Let's say you don't have any mana dork, you don't have any of the looting effects, and you have like some giant creature in your hand. Probably not one that recurs stuff, right? You probably want something that's actually gonna do you something. I don't know, like the Monstrous Serpent, right? Something that just, oh, draft card. I mean, hopefully you have something that will draw you cards. Like, I think Nezahal is one of, like, it's a more expensive legendary for sure, but it's one that's super worth it because you're drawing cards and you can protect them super easily. Being able to just have these kind of cards just go crazy. Anyways, though, if you don't have one of the mana dorks, you can utilize the Amazing Spider-Man's second side with Peter Parker, summon a Spider Token, and when it gets to the turn, oh, also, dude, it actually helps you summon Spider-Man too. Like, if you don't have the, oh man, sorry there, let me restart on that. If you don't have like the correct lands too, like being able to tap the spider to be able to summon or transform Amazing Spider-Man really helps out too, right? And then after that, you can use it to get the spider, you know, put the spider back to your hand, and then be able to draw a bunch of cards. And at that time, you should be able to have some kind of mana dork or a looting effect. So the cards I thought were just really spicy that I just kind of want to talk about briefly. Like, everything else is kind of like, you know, like you can just look at tapped out, or you can just look at EDA Trek, I suppose. I wouldn't want to say EDA Trek too much, but of course you always can. I got pictures of Spider-Man. I actually took out Soul Ring for this card, right? Just being able to look through your deck to get more creatures, whether you need Manador colluding effects or just big creatures, really good for that part. Surrak, something I pulled at a pre-release event. I hate using green cards, so like it never really came in clutch for me until I made this deck. And when I was in a pod, I had such a crazy setup. Let me actually break down what I had really quick. I had the 6th Doctor out, which made me have a copy of Absolute Virtue, and it was like turn 4 or 5 that I did this, by the way. So like everyone, I had to do a 1v4 scenario for a couple turns because people were just like, well, we got to do something about this guy, and it turned so fast. And every time they were targeting anything that I had to do anything they want, I was drawing 2 cards because I copied this guy off the 6th Doctor as well. Absolutes, absolutely nutty. Really like those kind of cards. Again, going a little bit more into it, we have the blast that you kind of saw earlier. You're drawing a lot of cards, and I kind of need a win con, so I did Laboratory Maniac. Obviously, like, Facet Oracle is probably better, but again, that's a game changer. We have 0 game changers in this deck, and you never really know when you can win like that. My cat wants out. Hold up. Alright, and then we have like a card like Unending Whisper, which I had another Harmonized card in here. It didn't really work out this well, but like this is like a low-key turn 1 play. Like you really don't have anything. You can kind of keep this hand because you can tap your Spider-Man to play this. I mean, not for free, but like really cheap. It's just something to tap a creature when you really need to. You never know when you're gonna need to tap one. I love Karn's Temporal. Again, just abusing the fact that it's a legendary, just taking an extra turn. This I found in my bulk. Again, like I put this in the tapped out deck. You don't need this. It's really cheap card. But again, like having these bulk places that you can just look for cards is really nice, right? Legendary artifact, you know, you equip it to a creature. Whenever that creature deals combat damage, you look at the top of the, you look at okay, to keep going off the tangent, right? I equipped it to this guy, 8 damage, right? Flying, by the way. So I was looking at the top 8 cards of my library, and everything in this library is huge, and I can cast any one of those spells for free. So like, mind you, I was kind of busting pretty hard, and I knew why I was being targeted. It makes sense, but it was kind of crazy. We got Savant's Reclamation. You can return Spider-Man or your Manadorks or whatever happens when it goes down his tits up. This card, I didn't see an EDA Trek at all. Cascade and all your spells with 6 are great. I also have Cascade. Again, you're just can really chain off really easily. And then when you have this, really helps you chain even harder. Consult the star charts isn't needed. You can just use any other kind of draw, kick, or mechanic or that you want. I only put this in tapped out and in this deck because I just have one and I just want to use it, right? Again, going through bulk. Peter Parker's camera, obviously amazing. You can just kind of sit on it, do whatever you want with it. Kind of the cards I thought were kind of neat and just chill to use. Now, one thing that I really noticed... Now, one thing that I really noticed about this deck is I don't really have too many kill spells. I just put in Beast Within. I put Solitude because I have that just sitting out doing nothing anyways. So I mean, look, Solitude might be a little expensive. I don't really know what it's at, but just use like Swords of Plowshare. I don't even have that in this deck. Again, like you're gonna be playing this, and depending on the friend group, like you probably want more removal in general. Also, Spider-Man No More, really good card. Just being able to take out even like a commander in the game to just like really nail somebody down. Now let's look at the lands really quick. For me personally, I just have, listen, I have a Proximaker. I got a Printer Soft. Obviously, like. I'm gonna be using some nice stuff, right? But with this deck, let me go over to tapped out. Be right back in with you, and we're gonna go through some test runs online to show you how the deck can kind of function. All right, so now we're back on the tapped out page where I made the deck, and again, like this is one of those decks where, like you can just really fluff around. Like I have Ain at the Crossroads. I actually just took that out just because it's not really that necessary in here. I only really put it in there just because like I found it, and it's not even a bad add to it at all, right? Like this is a bracket 2 to bracket 3 deck that can sometimes play really strongly. And just depending on what you really want from this deck, like putting Jin-Kataxis in here instead of Ain at the Crossroads. Jin-Kataxis is like just a $5 card that makes everyone discard their hand at the end step, right? Which is usually like what, a 7 or 8 drop. And in this deck, it's only a 3 drop. Like you can do some absolutely brutal stuff. So again, this is one of those decks that you can kind of work on over time and just make it truly nasty if you really want to. Also, with the lands, I will say these 2 lands particularly are garbage in almost any other deck that you'll play, but in this deck it's really good because you want 1 of each color anyway, so it doesn't really matter for having this, because like in other decks it just kind of hinders you more than it actually helps you a lot of the time, right? Arcane Signet, again, I took this card out of my own deck to put, I mean, I already had so many good like these guys, these, what do you call them, mana dorks, there we go, mana dorks. I don't even have Beast Color Savant, but I just looked up mana dorks that tap, right? And this is one of them. Again, this is one that has haste, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, spend this mana to only cast a creature spell, which again, you have 40 creatures in this deck, you're going to be using it really well, and I'm probably going to try to get this card now that I'm actually looking at it because it's really good. But a lot of these cards, like, I just kind of found it online just to throw it in this tapped out version, because that's what I'd probably put it if I had more free range. But again, I was just going through my bulk making this deck, and that's what's so cool about the Spider-Man deck, is that you can just do so many things with it that you really want to do. Again, Absolute Virtue is actually 250, not 1276, so you can actually minus a lot of money on here. I don't even have Isaiah. Like, again, there's like a lot of cards in here that I don't even put use, or that are just like overpriced in my opinion. So honestly, like, it's more worth $80. Let's go right into the playtest to show you what this deck can kind of do. So off rip, we only got 1 land, which is just pretty unfortunate. So we're going to go for another restart, another 1 land hand, which is a really awkward time to show what this deck can kind of do. All right, this hand is pretty bumping. Let's pretend like we're actually playing a game. So we will put 1 of these back in the hand. Start off, let's draw a card first. I will play for an Elvish Mystic. Wow, kind of goofy really talking about it, to be honest with you. Let's put a island down. We got nothing else to be real with you. I mean, if we really wanted to, I guess we could do Peter Parker. Let's just do Peter Parker, assuming we're in a bracket 2 deck, not the spider. Let's just say we're using Peter Parker. Like people aren't gonna probably target this. If you're in a 1v1, they probably will target you. If you're more competitive competitive people with a lot of removal, obviously, like, look at the board state before you just nilly-willy summon Peter Parker to the field. I'm just doing it right now because, like, I have nothing else to do. I'm just imagining that people aren't probably gonna take this out. Next turn, looking pretty spicy. We'll probably in a pod with every color, so we're gonna put Exotic Orchard down. And yeah, we got 4 mana, so let's just flip Peter Parker, and because we summoned him and he actually doesn't exile, right? Like, let's just read this one. You transform him, you don't actually exile, you return him, so you can actually attack with him. Why is he a 4/3? He's a 4/4. See, like, this, the tapped out isn't that great. What the 3/2? Am I doing? Let's fix this up. There we go. Let's just fix that up real quick. Anyways, though, yep, attack. He has vigilance and reach, so really good. Turn 3, by the way. Pretty nasty stuff. Goes over to turn 4. Let's just actually just play him because I just want to make sure he's looking chill. And in this stage, we can tap that. Oh, this is actually really, really good. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Pull this back to the hand, play this. He'll have a counter on him. We can pull it off, and it's not as a sorcery, so we can do it right before our turn actually starts. And if anything happens, like if we really wanted to protect Spider-Man, we do have the Wandering Rescuer. So we're gonna put an Elvish Mystic back onto the battlefield, and then we have 5 just in case anything happens. We have a plane and Spider-Man, which is also white, so we'll attack with Spider-Man, and then we can just chill. Again, this is turn 4 in a bracket 2 to 3 scenario, so we'll just say like nothing actually happens, and if it does, though, again, hexproof on our boy. So it's about to be our turn. We're going to remove this counter and draw a card for each permanent we have. So we have 8, so that's 8 draws, which is why I kind of wanted to get the spider out on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can see how quickly this deck really turns up. So we'll go to a next turn out here, and you just have so many options. Again, this then will protect your whole board state if you want to keep this one. Absolute Virtue. This is turn 5, and we can have something that will just protect our own, right? You have protection from each of our opponents. You can have something that will cascade. You could just blow up the field if you wanted to after you return this Elvish Mystic back to your hand. So let's just say we put an island on the video. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 mana, so we could actually, I mean, depending on the board, maybe we can attack, maybe we can't. What else do we really have here? I didn't actually look at this. This is supposed to be a guy in the chair. This is probably the worst mana dork, but I only have him in here just because, like, it goes with the Spider-Man theme. Anyways, let's just go for 1, 2, 3. Return it, and we'll just play Absolute Virtue. And I think we can just really stick with that. I mean, we can do this, and we're kind of just chilling hardcore. If we really want, we could put Lightning Greaves on it, but I really do want to keep some counterspell play just in case anybody has like a board wipe. Turn 5 board wipe could happen, so you have something to protect. You have a couple things to you have so many things to protect. So let's say we have to go down to hand size because it's our end step. We want to keep at least 1. I mean, of course we'll attack in with 4. Like, you just have so many options to do with this deck, and it's just depending on the board set. Like, turn 5 in a bracket 2 or 3, like, this is a very good board to have protection from each of our opponents, making people have to fight each other, with having protection with restoration magic, or having the Wandering Rescuer. I mean, like, no matter what, we're gonna be surviving this turn with this guy up pretty much. I don't even know what else we probably would drop. I mean, then we have, like, Ravenous Blast to just make sure, like, I mean, yeah, they keep their commander, but everything else, like all their tokens and stuff, so and make sure we can get through. Super nasty. So let's just pretend and keep going. Like, I don't know, somebody. Oh, I see. I kind of goofed up. Let's just say I did this with this. I mean, that's probably. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I see. And then I tapped that. Then I'd play this guy. We'd have this up and this up, right? So we tap for green. We got green and white, and then we tap. Then we have next green. Yep. Okay. Then we have enough. We have a white to play this if we want to. We have a green and blue to play that if we want to. Or if you just really thought that the board's gonna be chill from a board wipe, you can even do this guy to have another mana dork. And then, like, if anybody had to target anything, you could do the Wandering Rescuer, right, before your turn started. Let's just say, like, something like that happens. We'll just throw the Lightning Greaves, because, like, again, that's like a $5 card, so maybe you don't have Lightning Greaves. We'll just put that in the graveyard like nothing happened, then boom, then we'll protect. Nobody can even attack us, because if they do, it doesn't matter, because we got Absolute Virtue. Maybe you wanted to keep Lightning Greaves, because you know you're going to be drawing more cards anytime soon. Now we have this board state, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, turn this guy back to the hand, and then we'll Cascade, so boom, boom. No Kodamas, very sadly. A bunch of this stuff. Another card we can't cast. This guy, pretty nice to have on the field. I mean, just, I hope you can kind of just see what we're already kind of cooking up with this deck. Right now, our guys can't be really targeted. We're going to keep the board wipe control right here. I mean, it's turn 6. Board wipes are usually like 5-ish mana, maybe a 4-drop mana, you know, but that's like kind of white territory, and they won't have probably 3 at this time of turn 6. Maybe they will, who really knows. But as you can see, just a super fine field at the moment right here. So I hope you guys can kind of understand and see like where I'm coming from. And that's kind of how the Spider-Man deck kind of functions in a scenario like this. Hopefully we'd have other things too, like I'd really hope that maybe we could actually summon this on my own turn instead of, like, I would have rather had the Wandering Rescue like this, because that way when it's our turn we can push this guy back to the hand to, like, summon something else that we would have had, right? Like, we would have had instead of that we would have played the Cascade person, so then we'd have this buyback in the hand and Cascade for 10. That would have worked out way get it on one drop, Peter Parker's camera. But that's kind of the idea of how this deck works. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Spider-Man has become one of my favorite commander decks recently. Oh, I got a couple stickers, so I don't know. I probably should print out my own thing and have like a nice foil wrapping on it, but like I think it was like $3 for a bunch of stickers. I was like, yo, it could be kind of sick. And I kind of, I kind of messed with it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of sick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It's a little different than what I usually do. But, it's my YouTube channel. I'm going to do whatever I want to do with it. And I've really been liking Magic recently. I haven't been liking Clash Royale. Haven't been liking Apex Legends. Haven't been really like gaming in general. Maybe Valorant. But, like, I don't want to do videos on that. Like, that's kind of old news, right? But Magic is something that I've always been pretty passionate about. So I really I really appreciate anybody who watches this video, stay till the end, and I hope you kind of learned going through the motions of making a deck, especially at a budget level. I was gonna make a general Zao video or Zao the Moonslayer, but doing mono red on a budget, especially with a commander that doesn't actually aid in you drawing cards or doing much of anything besides slowing people down, and mono red is really hard to make. Maybe make a video about that in the future. I got a couple plans, so hopefully we can get something cooking with Magic. I really enjoyed doing something like this. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever I make 1 hour. Peace out, y'all.